Good evening, everyone. You're tuned in to Emo Nightly News. This is a news package for Thursday, 4th September 2025. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis. And in tonight's headlines, Government of Dominica appoints trainees Hamilton and Stefan Pascal as sports ambassadors. DSS clears the air on delayed short-term benefit payments. At least 15 dead after Lisbon's historic funicular derails. Backlog of cases at magistrates' courts addressed. OECS launches disaster resilient schools project in Dominica and St. Vincent. And Rubio promises more strikes on Venezuelan cartels.
Welcome to Pelican Pride.
Welcome back, everyone. In local news, Dominica's Minister for Tourism, accompanied by Maritime Administrator Nawana Shillingford, is representing the country at the second Sustainable Maritime Industry Conference held under the theme Sailing Towards a Sustainable Future. In her address, the minister highlighted the urgent challenges facing small island developing states, SIDS, or SIDS, on the climate frontline and outlined bold measures to strengthen resilience. Key proposals included expanding digitization training to build a modern maritime workforce, creating opportunities to engage youth in the sector, and establishing a global training and internship hub to boost capacity. She further advanced the idea of a twinning model, pairing SIDS with advanced maritime nations to enhance expertise in operations, cyber resilience, digital literacy, and green innovation. The minister also called for the creation of a global maritime solidarity fund to help SIDS finance port modernization and digital transformation, ensuring competitiveness, security, and sustainability in the global industry. Jolly's Pharmacy has pledged its continued support to the Dominica Council of Aging, reaffirming its commitment to the well-being of the island's elderly. As part of this year's observance of Month of the Elderly, the pharmacy announced that it will be offering free blood pressure testing from September 8 to 12, 2025, as well as other activities for the month.
Jolly's Pharmacy believes in proactive healthcare, and we want to make it easy and as easy as possible for our seniors to stay on top of their health. And that is why from September 8th to the 12th, we'll be offering free blood sugar and blood pressure testings to all persons age 60 and above, and this will be happening at all of our Jolly's Pharmacy locations. These vital screenings will be conducted by our licensed pharmacists and trained farm techs right here at all of our Jolly's locations. That is, of course, our King George branch, Great George, both in Roseau. We have our mega branch in Foncolay and then our branch in Portsmouth. We want to empower our seniors to understand their health numbers and take steps towards a healthier future. Early detection is key, and we're committed to providing these essential services free of charge to ensure accessibility for everyone.
The announcement was made during the official launch of the Month of the Elderly celebrations, where the council also outlined a series of activities planned to honor and support seniors throughout September. The issue of the backlog of cases at the magistrates' court was addressed during a recent press conference. Among the challenges highlighted were poorly prepared summons and the unavailability of witnesses, both of which continue to delay proceedings. According to Candia Carrett George, active measures are being pursued to help resolve the backlog and improve the efficiency of the judicial process.
I have been asked to speak a little bit to the backlog that exists currently at the magistrates' court and how are we dealing with it. The following methods have been utilized to address the backlog. In preliminary inquiries, To cause the matters to proceed to trial in a timelier fashion, we do not always adduce evidence from all of the prosecution witnesses. The prosecution is encouraged to produce witnesses sufficient to ensure that a prima facie case has been established. Then, notice can be given of additional witnesses whose evidence will be adduced from at the High Court. In processing indictable matters, that is the real serious matters, those that go to the High Court, via the route of paper committal. This is a method allowed by our law, where witness statements are presented to the court, and these statements are admitted as witnesses' evidence in chief. This eliminates the need for witnesses to stand in court for long hours giving viva voce evidence in person. This saves tremendous court's time and allows matters, especially those with several witnesses, to proceed quickly. For example, you would have heard about the alleged double homicide which took place in Soufriere in 2023. We were able to commit this matter to the High Court for trial sometime last week. With 40 witnesses, there is no way it could have been completed in just a little over 2 years. Had it not been for the use of paper committal, it would have taken a very long time to call all of these 40 witnesses to give evidence and then to be cross-examined. Definitely the matter would have dragged on for years. So paper committal really helps matters to go through quickly. Some matters are transferred from one court to another to speed up processes. For example, one magistrate sends matters from the criminal court to the traffic court. Sometimes the traffic list, it gets adjourned because a lot of no service, and instead of ending traffic court at 11 a.m. or 11:30, we would send matters from the criminal court to the traffic court so that it can go through in a timelier fashion.
DSS clears the air on delayed short-term benefit payments. The Dominica Social Security, DSS, has addressed concerns over the recent delays in the payment of short-term benefits, including sickness and maternity claims. In a statement, DSS reaffirmed its mandate to provide income support to insured persons and their dependents during times of illness, pregnancy, injury, disability, old age, and death. However, the institution acknowledged that technical challenges linked to its ongoing digital transformation have caused disruptions in the timely processing of payments over the past several months. DSS assured the public that measures are being taken to resolve the backlog and normalize operations within the next month. The organization emphasized that digitization efforts, once fully implemented, will enhance service delivery and give stakeholders easier access to Social Security services. While recognizing the inconvenience caused, DSS thanked claimants for their patience and expressed confidence that a return to normalcy in benefit payments is imminent. And now for regional news. The St. Lucia Crisis Center is set to receive a major boost in funding. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre and his cabinet have approved an increase in the government subsidy from $72,000 to $240,000 annually. The move comes as NGOs like the Crisis Center face rising demand and declining donations, making it harder to stay afloat. The additional funds will help the center cover operating costs and expand support services to vulnerable individuals. This increase is part of a broader effort by the Pierre administration to strengthen, support NGOs and non-profits since the 2022-2023 budget, recognizing their vital role in caring for at-risk communities across the island. The OECS has launched a disaster resilient school project in Dominica and St. Vincent, supported by a $30,000 grant from the New Zealand High Commission. The initiative will train educators and emergency personnel in disaster preparedness and provide selected schools with essential equipment. Around 200 people will benefit directly. OECS Director General Dr. Didacus Jules says the project highlights the region's focus on protecting vulnerable communities. It also supports wider climate resilience and education goals across the OECS. The government of Grenada has officially become the newest shareholder of CAF, Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean, joining 6 CARICOM members among its 24 shareholders. As a Series C shareholder, Grenada gains access to flexible financing tailored to its sustainable development priorities. CAF praised Grenada's resilience in facing climate challenges such as hurricanes, sea level rise, and sargassum, while commending its leadership in climate, economic, and digital innovation. CAF President Sergio Diaz-Granados said the bank is ready to work closely with Grenada to build a resilient, inclusive, and sustainable future. Grenada's entry continues CAF's expansion in the Caribbean, following the incorporation of the Bahamas, Antigua and Barbuda, and the upcoming membership of St. Lucia. Here is a look at a flag-raising ceremony at CAF's offices. Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness has secured a third term after a closely contested election on Wednesday. Preliminary results gave his Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, at least 34 seats, while Mark Golding's People's National Party, PNP, won 29. Golding conceded defeat, expressing disappointment, but acknowledging Holness's victory. Voter turnout stood at 38.8%, with just over 2 million eligible voters. A total of 63 parliamentary seats were contested, with the winning party leader becoming Prime Minister. Holness's campaign highlighted a 43% drop in killings this year, the steepest decline in decades, credited to increased firearm seizures and stronger security measures. While crime has fallen, critics remain wary of government's use of states of emergency in some areas. The Cabinet of Antigua and Barbuda has announced new measures to strengthen national security and improve community cleanliness. National Security Minister Sir Stelroy Benjamin confirmed the K9 unit of the Royal Police Force is now fully staffed. 6 dogs are being trained to detect drugs, firearms, and human trafficking, marking a major step in the fight against organized crime. While overall crime is down, police are concerned about a rise in traffic accidents, unlicensed vehicles, and illegal colored headlights. Increased enforcement is planned to address road safety. In community clean-up efforts, police will accelerate the removal of derelict vehicles, giving owners 14 days to comply. This comes after Prime Minister Gaston Brown expressed frustration over delays. The government has also allocated EC 500,000 to provide new garbage bins across the country as part of its ongoing beautification and public health drive. And now for international news. At least 15 people were killed and 18 injured after Lisbon's iconic Gloria funicular derailed and crashed near Avenida da Liberada on Wednesday evening. Authorities said 5 of the injured are in serious condition, while the others, including a child, sustained minor injuries. Emergency services confirmed all those trapped have been freed, and foreigners are among the victims. Though nationalities have not yet been confirmed, witnesses reported the carriage appeared to be out of control without brakes before crashing into a building. Portugal's president Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa, Lisbon's mayor Carlos Moedas, and European leaders, including Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, expressed condolences. The operator Caris has launched an investigation into the cause of the crash. A funicular is a type of railway system that allows travel up and down steep slopes. Also in international news, a federal judge has ruled that Trump administration acted unconstitutionally when it froze more than $2.6 billion in research funding to Harvard, striking down the freeze in full and granting the university a major legal victory. U.S. District Judge Alison D. Burroughs issued a summary judgment in Harvard's favor, finding that the freeze was imposed in retaliation for protected speech. The clash between Harvard and the Trump administration began in late March when federal agencies warned that billions in multi-year grant funding would be tied to specific conditions. By April, the administration escalated its demands, calling on Harvard to overhaul its governance, hiring, and disciplinary systems, all subject to government audits. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Wednesday defended President Donald Trump's strike on a Venezuela-based drug cartel vessel, pledging that the U.S. will no longer sit back in the fight against narco-terrorism. Responding to questions about Tuesday's marine strike in the Southern Caribbean Sea, which allegedly targeted Tren de Aragua members smuggling narcotics to the U.S., Rubio said, "We're not going to sit back anymore and watch these people sail up and down the Caribbean like a cruise." The strike, which reportedly killed 11 cartel members, marked a sharp departure from the U.S. prior seize and apprehend approach to transnational gangs. And that's all for international news. Stay tuned for the sports segment after this short message.
Look, yours, it's not just a game, it's our game. Dominica's very own jackpot, Match 5.
Welcome to the sports segment. The government of Dominica has appointed Trainees Hamilton and Stephen Pascal as sports ambassadors, effective September 1, 2025. Hamilton, who won Dominica's first gold medal at the Junior Pan Am Games, will receive a housing lot and a diplomatic passport. Pascal, the first Dominican to captain a West Indies cricket team, will serve as youth sports ambassador and receive a monthly stipend to support his career. These appointments reflect the government's commitment to recognizing and supporting young athletes. Belfast Estate Mao Soca Strikers delivered a dominant performance, cruising to a 13-0 victory over South City FC. Sarai Stedman's brilliance earned her the Player of the Match award. Meanwhile, fans at the DFA Technical Center were treated to a thrilling clash on Sunday as South City and All Saints University FC battled to 2 draw. Ian Oscar's outstanding display secured him Man of the Match honors. In Friday's action, Bath Estate FC dismantled Kensborough SC with a commanding 7-0 win at the Technical Center. And Fernie Frederick stole the spotlight, being named Man of the Match for his performance. And in volleyball action, 16 teams hit the sands at Merrow Beach on Sunday, August 31, for the exciting Blue Waters World of the Sands Beach Volleyball Tournament. In the men's division, Mervyn Mingo and new teammate Asa Burton wowed spectators as they battled through a competitive field of 9 other duos. They clinched the championship title after a hard-fought final against brothers Jaden and Kylo Robinson. Meanwhile, in the women's category, seasoned players Anna Maria Panthier and Zahidu Henry demonstrated their skill and expertise, overcoming the talented national under-21 pair, Alisa Bully and Joanne Pascal, to secure the women's title. Organizers extend heartfelt thanks to Fine Foods Inc. for their continued support of volleyball and beach volleyball across the island. And in DABA news, basketball fans are set for another exciting weekend at the Massac Indoor Sports Complex. Convenience Plus Mao Gators face Dr. Daru PSC Falcons 2 at 7 p.m., followed by Detroit Blazers 1 taking on Hilltop Services Prowlers at 9 p.m. Then on Saturday, September 6, Detroit Blazers 2 meet with West Coast Ballers at 7 p.m. before Paybush Super Eagles go head-to-head with Dr. Daru PSC Falcons 1 at 9 p.m. And that's all for the sports segment. Stay tuned for the weather report from the Dominica Meteorological Service.
Good day to you. This is the weather broadcast from the main studio at GMID for today, September 4th, 2025. We start off by taking a look at the tropics, and we find a tropical wave near around 33 degrees west, and this tropical wave has a high chance of development within this demarcated area in red. This system is expected to be a hurricane as it approaches the Lesser Antilles by the middle of next week. Various models are indicating different things. Some models are suggesting that the system could swing west-northwestward and pass just north of the Lesser Antilles, while others are indicating that it could remain further south and pass over the central portion of the Lesser Antilles and become a direct threat to us here in Dominica. So we're asking you, the public, to continue to monitor the progress and development of the system and to be prepared for any eventuality, particularly those where the system could become a direct threat to us. And as we move on to satellite imagery, we find our tropical wave of interest here in the Eastern Atlantic. There is a trough in the monsoon trough which could affect the islands to the south of the Lesser Antilles over the weekend. And as we move on closer to home, we do find the axis of another tropical wave which is expected to affect the island tonight and possibly into tomorrow morning. We do see some dust haze trailing the axis of this wave. And as we zoom in closer to home today, skies were mostly cloudy in eastern communities and fair to partly cloudy in western communities. And as our radar imagery indicated, there were only isolated showers, light showers across the island during the morning so far. Saharan dust is expected to move into the area from Friday night following the tropical wave and lingering slightly into Sunday. So tonight, as the tropical wave affects the area, we do expect conditions to be mostly cloudy with some scattered showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures are expected to be down to about 24 degrees Celsius in our coastal communities and 22 degrees Celsius in the interior. Winds are expected out of the east-southeast near 30 kilometers per hour. And over the next 3 days, some moisture trailing the tropical wave could linger into tomorrow morning, and a high pressure could begin to establish itself by afternoon. So we do expect some patches of clouds moving across the area with some scattered showers into Saturday, some dust haze on Saturday and Sunday. And by Sunday, we do expect a slight increase in atmospheric instability, which could increase the chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures are expected to remain warm into the weekend, peaking near 33 degrees Celsius during the day, down to about 24 degrees Celsius on Friday and 25 degrees Celsius over the weekend. Winds are expected to remain out of the east through to the southeast by Sunday, peaking about 25 to 30 kilometers per hour with occasional gusts. Seasonal coastal waters today, they're picking up to about 5 feet on the east coast. We do expect a slight increase tonight to about 7 feet on the east coast, and this is likely to persist into tomorrow. Over the weekend, we do expect our wave heights to be back down to about 5 feet. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:53 a.m. and will set at 6:15 p.m. The first high tide tomorrow will be at 2:12 a.m. and the first low tide at 9:15 a.m. Remember, for updated information, you can join us in our WhatsApp channel. You can gain access by scanning this QR code or visit our Facebook and Instagram platforms. Do remember to stay hydrated, be prepared. Those of you with respiratory sensitivities, be on the alert for the dust event. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time.
And that's all for tonight's news segment. I'm Rick Francis, and you've been watching EmoNews, every moment online. Good night.